What's up? What's up? What's up? We about to have an interesting conversation today. That's for sure. All right. So first of all, thank you guys so much for coming on today. Really appreciate it. We're gonna be having some really good conversations today about the Black Sands anime and specifically all the big stuff that we're gonna be having uh coming our way. So first of all, thank you guys so much for coming on today. Oops, don't want to have echo. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about return on investment. That's pretty important, right? I think that's probably one of the biggest things that everybody cares about is return on investment, how you get your money back. And then we're also going to be talking about our competition. We actually got some competition that came in, and it's really good that the competition is here, because at the end of the day, man, like this is something that, we are basically you know, super excited about, mostly because uh, you know, anime is an Eastern thing, right? It's a Japanese thing. And the American audience doesn't really understand how the market works when it comes to movies and anime. So being able to see somebody else, a bigger brand, do it first helps us a lot. And we're going to be talking about that today. Carl Reed's here with us as well. So I'm going to get him up here as well. But Carl, I just made you a host, so you can also unmute yourself and do everything else. It's your, you can do all that good stuff.
I'm having technical difficulties. Give me one second.
Got you, got you. I see the chat. Let me pull the chat out separately just to make sure everybody in the chat is there. So I'm a little bit alone today because Giselle's not here. She's currently away. But I will be monitoring the chat and doing all that good stuff as well. Uh, Now, first things first. So a little update on what's been going on with the investment round so far, right? So we're at $1,047,000 right now. That's pretty good. And the main thing is this, right? I know we were shooting off super fast right at the beginning and stuff like that. But recently I've been basically like tasked with about 1 billion freaking responsibilities when it comes to writing. So I haven't been able to necessarily go out there and campaign online like I need like I usually do. So I've been taking off a couple of weeks to go and handle that. I should be getting into campaigning again this week. But as you can see, we already done a massive amount of damage. We're already working on the production right now. Things are going pretty smoothly on that side. As far as what do we expect, I think by the end of this month, so it's a new month, right? We're in September right now. By the end of this month, we should be at like $1.2 million, something like 1.2 million, I think. I think 150,000 over the next month would be a really good haul, right? Because now we're in the grind. This is the grind part of the campaign. And in the grind part of the campaign, you're not going to raise like freaking 50,000 every single like 2 or 3 days like we did in the past. Like the algorithm, and the way Google and Apple changes the rules every freaking 5 seconds, right? There's not much we could do about it. When you change the rules, you change the rules, and we just have to live with the changes that they make. So I'm always excited to try and work around the new algorithm rules. Like I once had an email list that had about 36,000 people who are engaged and subscribed, and then it went down to like 20,000 in like a month. And I was like, what happened? And it was like, oh, Google changed some rules on like authentications and stuff. And I'm like, okay, how do I fix it? I'd be like, so I did it, I fixed it, but the number never changed. I just get lost engagement forever. Like, and I was like, that just happens nowadays. Apple and Google love fighting each other to the death for control over audiences. And in the end, we have to take the hit. So I'm relying a lot on Instagram right now, and Instagram has been very good to me. So right now, Instagram's doing a lot of damage. You guys are doing a lot of damage on the ground by telling your family, telling your friends, getting people involved, doing coalitions. That was so cool in the last meeting we had, where people were talking about the coalitions they built in their own family, where they were like, "Oh yeah, the family invested 10,000 together in one account." I was like, "Yo, that's crazy." So those are big giant moves. I love those family plays, man. That's some of the craziest stories you'll ever see. And I couldn't be more excited about what's going on. So before I get into the big juice of it all, I'm going to keep setting up this meeting real quick. But Carl, can you take it over and tell them what we've been doing in the last 2 weeks? Get people up to date.
Sure. Great. Can everyone hear me? No? Uh,
I say you're a little low right now, like super low.
okay. Let me just try to speak louder. Is that better?
Nah, I think the mic is acting up.
Let me try again.
Never mind. You're good. I think my microphone's low. Go ahead. You're good. You're good. Everybody
Okay,
else said loud and clear, so I'm the troll. I put my microphone way down. All right, I'm out of here.
great. So, the beginning phases are typically some of the hardest. We have to get all of the people that we are going to have working on the production started and get them moving, get them equipment, get them in place and locked down. And so that's primarily what a lot of the action has been. We have a relatively short time to pull together a lot of the pre-production as we have, as Manuel mentioned earlier, we have a big milestone for MIP, and so we've actively started that. He also mentioned that on the writing side, we have a nice little heavy lift to do, and that's been a grind as well. But we have made a significant amount of progress. We have everything on the sound is taken care of, locked down. We haven't scheduled the date of the audio yet, as we have the final date of the audio. We have to wait on the final scripts, but we expect that to be sometime toward the maybe third week of September if it works with all the cast. We're also doing the remainder of the casting, so we're putting that stuff together. Uh, Animation tests, final character designs and style, the looks, the expression sheets, everything. And that's kind of where we are. We expect to kind of be in actual storytelling come mid to late October. And so we're excited.
What does storytelling entail? Because like other people don't understand what you're saying is storytelling. They don't know what that means at all. So
Yeah, good point. When I say storytelling, I mean storyboards, animatic, and some of the early motion. So some of the storyboards or some of the animatic may just be static boards, but a lot of it is going to be like limited animation. So the animatic is going to be the storyboards mixed with the audio, and this should give you a very good view of what the whole episode is. And then we never get, no one ever will get the exact creative right on the first try. So it's important that we get through that animatic phase early because that allows us to mix things up, change things, see what's happening at the right time, and then we can tweak it and perfect it so that the story is proper.
awesome, awesome. Yeah, so that's kind of the things that we're going on right now. Obviously, we got our artists working on all the like kind of final concepts of all the characters in the first episode. That's super important. So here's some breakdowns of what the character is most likely going to be for the first episode, right? So you have to looking at the core cast: Asar, Osset, Nabet, Seth, and then you also have Geb Nui, Ra, right? Tahuti, Muntu, Anher, and Dayun, right? So if you don't know, Dayun is if you're looking at chapter 5 of Black Sands, we talk a lot about the Magi. right? So without going into spoilers or anything like that, just know that basically this entire thing that we're working on is connected with the Magi. All right, so we're going into the mystical a bit. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be engaging. It's gonna like kind of introduce our audience to a little bit of the mysticism in Black Sands and also the faction building in Black Sands. So that's where we're going with that, and I love this whole cast decision because we kind of keep it in Egypt. We kind of keep it in the desert and stuff like that. And because of that, one, we keep the cost down, right? Because you're building entire nations and stuff like that, right? That's gonna skyrocket. It's gonna cost the cost is gonna skyrocket pretty bad. So one, we're keeping the cost down, right? Keeping it kind of in scope. And two, it's ridiculously black, right? So everybody from the top down is black. There's like literally no other people in the story in this particular film that they gonna be no savior coming in. They ain't gonna be none of these situations that you normally see in every Hollywood movie. All right, so this is gonna be a really black experience, and I think you guys are really gonna enjoy that. Now one thing that's really important that I talked to Carl about that was catastrophically a good thing for us was Lord of the Rings is coming out on December 13th or something like that, right? This is probably the biggest news Black Sands has ever gotten. And the reason for that is very clear, right? Eastern markets, animes will do 50, 100 million, sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars in the Japanese box office, right? That's how it works. In the Japanese box office, they do catastrophic numbers. When they come to the United States, they do good numbers, but it's nowhere near what they do domestically. So what happens is when you're trying to convince a movie theater chain in America how many screens you need, you can't really base that off of Japanese performance in Japan, right? They're gonna be like, that's not our market, that's not us. And you're not Disney, you're not Pixar, right? You're not making an animation like DreamWorks. So because you're not hitting those markets and you're not hitting those little kids like they are, we don't know what to do with you. Lord of the Rings is not a kid series, even though it is family friendly as far as like they do a lot of censorship to not make it too adult. At the end of the day, it is a fantasy story for teens and above. That's just what it is, right? It's also a Western IP, very important, because that means that they're going to be first and foremost in the United States before anywhere else. That's where they plan on making their money, is the United States. The fact that they're going to be in movie theaters, another massive, massive thing, because like they're gonna get a lot of screens. How is Lord of the Rings not gonna get a lot of screens? You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have a comp that we could look to and say, this comp right here did this much damage. Let's say it do 200 million at the box office. 200 million at the box office with 7,000 screens or whatever the hell how many screens they have, right? He said, we think we can do at least 25% of that with Black Sands, right? And they're gonna be like, well, what's the similarities? Say damn near everything. Everything's similar, the same kind of genre, the same kind of fantasy story, the same ancient armor and tactics and stuff like that. And they're gonna be like, you know what? That does seem similar. That is something I can envision and connect the dots, right? And they're probably gonna give us an additional 1,000 screens off of that alone. Just the fact that there was a comp that's right there and happened in the last 6 months. They're gonna be like, makes sense. I could see it happening. So that's a huge deal for us. Economically, what does that mean for us, Carl?
Economically, that means, first of all, the performance of it, we can actually base an estimate from that and take, okay, how much did they spend on marketing? How much did they spend on this, on that? And that helps our projections, period. Second, a lot of times when you're talking to theaters and things like that, they're like, okay, this isn't a movie that'll typically be a big hit for us. We'll put them in the farthest theater in the back of or farthest screen in the back of the theater. We have the potential to get great screen features, to get featured for a longer period of time, and all these equal more performance at box office. So it's a huge plus, and it's a very important thing. And one thing about it that Manuel mentioned, but I don't know that it's been uh, so highlighted, is that it's Western. So it's not just an anime, it's a Western anime. And so to be able to release this here, the source kind of came from here. And so it's a very, 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 very good comp.
And as far as very good comp is concerned, right? Like let's say we're planning on fighting them. So I'm gonna build a whole massive campaign picking a fight with Lord of the Rings. All right. I am going to be going hard. I'm gonna ride this wave as hard as I can to try and say we are going to fight them. And we will have footage and we will have stuff like that. By the time this movie comes out, we are going to have straight up footage, right? We might even have most of the first episode done, like straight up. At that point, when that comes out, I'm gonna be having clips. They say where they're like, oh, this scene's so lit, and then be like, but what about this? And then it's gonna be Black Sad shot. So we're gonna be fighting left and right. And let's say they do $200 million at the box office, right? And we do 50 million at the box office. Our argument is not we will outsell Lord of the Rings. Our argument, according to Carl Reed, as far as like what is important, is our return on investment versus their return on investment.
That's profitability.
So explain that to them for the people who don't understand, why it's more important to have a return on investment from a straight up like brand perspective than just straight up big box office numbers.
You know, one thing that's interesting, every year you'll see in the summer, you'll see a couple of like low to mid budget horror films that come out. And they'll do fine at the box office. They won't be these big, blockbusters. But when you glance at them, they're some of the most profitable movies of the year. So they'll go on, you'll see an Annabelle 5, right? Or you'll see a The Purge 7, right? And The Purge is no reason when you compare it to the other films that's, cost 10 times the amount of price they had a higher amount of footfall. How did it get to 7? That's that profitability. Notoriously horror films and that built Blumhouse's business. That's building A24's business. They make notoriously the most profitable films of the year. Now, yeah, that's great for them. They can make more films, but it's also great for the theaters. They're saying you're going to take more chances and bring more people who, if we're looking at the audiences for a big, Barbie movie or a big kids movie, we also will have these horror movies. We'll also have these other movies that's bringing a completely different audience and keeping them butts and seats and keeping those theaters occupied in between these huge plays. And when those huge plays don't work, everyone loses. When these small plays, the more profitable plays benefits the theaters, it benefits the creators, it benefits the studios, it benefits the distributors, and that's why they're able to take it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You start seeing 7 and 8 editions of the film.
Yo, I remember that too. Now I think about it, man. That's funny too. I was just thinking about that. It's like, why do some of these horror movies have like freaking like number 12, number 12 of the 2 hour movies? You're like, dang, how like what is going on with this? Because it's printing money, huh? That's why it's printing money, right? And that's our mission right now. Our mission is to print money. The only thing I want from you guys is to be able to give you a check like literally 2 to 3 months after the freaking premiere, where you had at least doubled your money. You do that, I do that. I have won the PR campaign, right? Because right now, let's be honest here, we do see all the time Black people investing in projects, right, that never get off the ground, or never even get like even past the starting line, right? where they just become an idea that goes away forever, right? And people just don't get anything in return. They just basically gave another person a new car, new house, and that was it. So being able to actually give you guys a check, that's the most important thing to me. I don't care what it is. I have to bring profitability in. Now, if we do 50 million at the box office, that's going to be a big ass check. Right? Because our profitability state is a lot lower than $50 million. In fact, what are we looking at here, Carl? Like from a double your money standpoint, what is that number that we're actually shooting for?
You know, I do not have the figures in front of me. Give me a second and I'll take a look.
All right, while he's looking for that, basically what we're doing is we want to give people checks. And our biggest investors, right? I want to do that publishers clearinghouse stuff. I want to walk to your house. I want to literally go to your house, right? With a check the size of the entire front porch, right? And say, here's your return on investment. With a whole freaking like the bells and whistles, the camera and everything else. So you could go and say, the hell with everybody else. I'm gonna put this in my garage. This is my check for life, right? You know the check ain't worth a damn, but that note from Wayfunder is they're gonna send you that real check, right? But it's just clout to be like, yes, before everybody else was out here pumping and faking, and we were actually doing the grind and we got the return on investment, right? And guess what happens? The next investment rounds after that, the next projects that we do, there's not going to be a debate on whether you should or should not invest, right? At this point, is how fast is it going to close, right? Because if we could do 1 million in the first week of our investment round, right? Because people just know and trust us. Imagine how much trust and confidence you'll have now when people had actually had returned to them hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? Like individually, right? Some of the bigger investors who are over 10,000, there is a possibility that they could get 100K in return. You know what I'm saying? It is possible. Did you find any of those numbers, Carl?
I'm pulling it up now.
Okay. Yeah, so it is possible, and it's not a crazy number we have to hit to get there. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the things that's very important about our production is, so long as we go to BIPCOM and we hit that right, we'll have a lot of pre-sales, right? And pre-sales helps lower the cost, right? You don't have to take more investors. You don't have to take more things that would basically make it harder to return, right? It's
Our
getting sold, you know?
It looks like our base case is at 16.5.
Okay.
And that's not just box office, that's performance across the channel.
Okay, so that's like distribution on Netflix or whatever, right? That's all possible avenues. 16 is like that point. Well, is that the point for a break even, or is that the point for double?
No, that's our base case, which is the break-even case.
Okay. All right. So 16 million is the break even case for Black Sands. And after that, we start getting a lot more money than that. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm feeling good about that. I like those kind of numbers, because those numbers aren't unobtainable. They're like very normal numbers in the box office, especially if we get like 2,000 screens. Like if we can get 2,000 screens, that number is very, very manageable. You know what I'm saying? And with a comp that's out there and the hype of the fact that Lord of the Rings was out, and then we're constantly going to compare with them, people are going to try to call our bluff. They're going to want to call our bluff. The whole TikTok community that just hates independence. So they're going to go out there and they're going to go and try to call the bluff. Oh, this nigga think he's better than Lord of the Rings. We're going to see about that. And every time they do, they just selling more tickets for us. They don't know it because sometimes people hate and they have very illegitimate reasons to hate. And when those illegitimate reasons come out, guess what happens? Numbers. Numbers come up because people look at it and they're not going to judge us based entirely off of whether it's better or not better, whether it sells more tickets or not sells more tickets. They're going to look at it from a cultural perspective as well. They're going to be like, let me get this right. This anime was entirely funded by the fans and the community. Not only that, it secured national distribution at movie theaters and international distribution as well. Not only that, but the people who funded it, the fans, are going to get a check based on the performance of the anime. He said, and then we're talking about how this scene was slightly better than this scene, right? Or this character was slightly less emotional than that character. They're gonna be like, these are very petty arguments for something that's completely done by by not even the underdogs. We are like the ratlings. we are like at the very bottom of the bottom when it comes to us versus them. And people gonna look at that and say, you are going overboard on trying to tear this down, and it's going to have a whole huge counter movement, right? Because people care about the culture, people care about social impact, people care about no more slave stories. Right? That's going to be something like, okay, so if it's not about black slaves, then all of a sudden we got to tear it down for every detail in the universe, right? It's like, so I think we're going to be we're going to have a massive campaign of counter basically like protest against people who are going to come after it because they're huge fanboys of Lord of the Rings, right? And they just can't let anybody do better than Lord of the Rings. It's gonna benefit us a lot, So we're gonna have that fight. Now, what I want to do is first I'm going to screen share the campaign, right? So I'll screen share the campaign just so you guys can see what's going on right now. So right there, yeah, we're at 1,047,000. That's what we're currently at. What I would like to do, right, in a week or so, I would like to hit 1.1. I think it's possible. You know, uh, I know a lot of you guys are maxed. I did a poll earlier, and this poll is crazy. So I did a poll earlier, and 129 out of 134 people who answered the poll said they invested already. So this is very much a group of people who are already investors. So this message is not for people who haven't invested yet, because there's only like 4 of them in here, right? This is for the people who are investors right now. You guys, if you're maxed out, nothing you can do about that, right? You're maxed. But think about it as well when you're whatever you're doing, like coalition investing. I know for a fact the family that did 10K in the first week, right? And they said a whole family, right? I know they used their combined income in order to qualify for a $10,000 investment, right? So, because that's what you do, right? If it's a household, you put your household income. Be aware of that, all right? So if you're married, right? If you're married and you got kids and all this other stuff, and both of y'all work or whatever, put both in there for your income. That way you can invest more if you wanted to invest more. I know a lot of people said I hit the max, I couldn't do more than 2,500, right? But they're married, right? So just do that. Make sure that you do that. It's a great way to circumvent that situation. One of my investors actually told me about that too. They were like, "Yeah, man, you just be aware that that's how it works. That you can actually put your family income in there as well." So do that if you want to go past your minimum, I mean your max, especially if it's at 2,500, because that's a very low max, right? But that's the government basically stopping you from going higher, right? So definitely be aware of that. Also, it's a ground game. I told you what happened with Google, right? I told you what happened with Apple, where they keep changing the rules, and I lose the ability to contact people. I lose the ability to contact people, which really sucks because I rely so much on my email list that it sucks when I lose like 20,000 people I can't email anymore that used to always open my emails. So I'm relying heavily on Instagram and Facebook and and to a lesser extent TikTok. I don't really use TikTok that much. But if you're one of those people on those platforms or you're just talking to your friends and family, get them into the game, man. Bring them in because we do need them to hit our goals, right? And I'm probably going to be on a couple of interviews soon on some radio stations and stuff like that. Really cool stuff. Definitely let people know when that happens because that's super important. That's what we really want to do. We want to keep pushing. We have to do it ourselves. We have to convince people when they're in the comment sections, right? So sometimes you're looking at Instagram and you're seeing comments or Facebook and you see comments and they're asking questions about how to invest. I can't manage thousands of comments that come in across my page, right? So I don't really see them sometimes. Let them know if you're an investor. Hey, this is what you got to do. This is what I did, right? Trust me. Helping out just by doing that, just being a regular person, talking to them in the comment section instead of the actual page owner, it's a very big thing to help with confidence, right? Public confidence. So let's keep doing that. Let's keep moving those numbers. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna allow the group to basically unmute themselves. So people can start unmuting themselves in a second, and then you'll be able to ask your questions, right? And we'll go, just deal with investor questions all for all time. Remember, one at a time. In fact, actually, you know what? At this point, I want to see hands raised. So if we got some hands raised, that will be great because that's what I'll use. I'll use hands raised as a way to unmute people. All right, so Spangler, let's go and get him asked to unmute. Angela, what's good?
Hi.
Hey.
I just wanted to ask, can you confirm the breakdown of the rounds? Are they all the same type of investor? So is it some are getting comic returns, some are getting movie returns, or is it all inclusive?
All right, so only people who invested in the Black Sands anime will get profit returned to them if there is profits, right? For the
Right.
Black Sands anime. It's a completely separate production. It's a movie production. With that being said, the stock price of Black Sands Entertainment, right, the company, corporation, will increase or decrease based on performance of the film, right? I don't see a real decrease, but I do see an increase. So because Black Sands Entertainment owns 50% of the film rights. So it's not like we just sold the film rights like most people do, and then whatever it makes has nothing to do with us. No, we own 50% of the rights of it, and we will get 50% of the profits if there is some from the producer pool, right? And that'll be toward the company of Black Sands Entertainment, which means their stock price will go right through the roof, right? So that's what's going on with the original investors. They will have stock price fluctuation based on the movie, right? And people who invested in this particular round, they will get a check.
Okay, so just to clarify then, early investors, for example, your Shark Tank days, that's not including this portion of it, but it is including the stocks and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
every other investment round prior to this one was
Right.
pure stock.
Got it.
Yeah. Any other, put your hands up and I'll be able to get you guys in here. We got Gary. All right, let's talk to Gary.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on?
So I got a question, man. I'm a double investor. There's something that I did not receive. You said there was going to be like a little metal card that was mailed out to you. I never got it.
Okay.
How
Did
do
you
I
invest did you invest in previous rounds?
Yes.
Okay, so if you invested in previous rounds, just email me. I'm sure you're getting my emails or something. So
I
so
am.
if you are, just email me and say, hey, I invested this much in this time, this year, or whatever, right? And I didn't get my cards, right? And I'll be like, okay, I'll send you the link to the card. You can order it from our website, and you get two. So you get two for free. So just freaking put the discount
Oh,
code in.
nice, cool.
Yeah, you get the discount code, and all you gotta do is cover shipping because I don't know your address, I don't know anything, right?
No
So
worries.
once you get that done, you'll probably get it in like 3 to 5 days max. You know.
Not a problem. Thank you very much. I also want to congratulate you on your success, man.
Oh,
Very
thank
much,
you.
very
Appreciate
much.
you, man.
Congrats, man. I'll let someone else get on.
Okay. Let's see. Atara. I'm gonna go with Atara.
Hey, can you come back to me as like next person?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and mute yourself then. All right. Camille.
Hey, hi, evening.
Hey, what's up?
I had a question. I invested, I think, in the beginning phases of everything, and I check in once in a while on WeFunder. And I did email just a little while ago, but I was like, let me join and see if they can answer as well. But it said, the Black Sands Entertainment no funds sent. This investment was canceled back in 2023 of June. What does that mean?
All right. So you're saying that you got a notification that you had your investment canceled?
Yeah, it looks like it was canceled in June, but I'm like, I don't remember canceling anything.
No, I probably know what happened. So what happens is this, right? At the end of every investment round, there is a countdown that goes down. It's like 6 day countdown. Sometimes people that invest in that time period get bumped out. They just don't make it in. You know what I mean? Like, because that is the closing period, right? And it's just like a government formal action that requires 6 days to exist before a campaign can close. So what happened was, if you invested at that time, right? Or if you were an early investor who reserved but never actually like confirmed your investment, that does happen sometimes. People reserve and they don't confirm it. Then at the end of the campaign, if you never confirmed your investment, you end up getting dropped. A lot of people has happened before when it came to the BSP Comics investment round. We had a huge delay between when we had reserves and when we had the actual campaign. So I think like 300 investors just dropped off that actually came in on like the first like week. And then because the campaign started 4 months later, they had forgotten about it and thought, yeah, I made my investment, I'm good. Right. And then they got dropped off because they never actually confirmed their investment. So that could have been one of the situations. Me personally, I would email WeFunder forwarding that specific like email about the cancellation. I don't have any control over that, so I couldn't change it. But it's very possible that WeFunder might have made a decision. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, I emailed them, so I'll wait for them to respond.
Oh, okay. And we're talking about past investment round, right? 2023.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I invested in 2021. This happened in 2023.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably just one of those like weird bugs, because I don't know if people really dropped in that year. That year we didn't hit max. 2023 we didn't hit max because we wanted to end it early because we had a lot of stuff to do. So I don't see why that would be the reason why you were dropped. The only way I think I can think of is a reservation was dropped. That's the only way. I can't really think of anything else besides a reservation, so
Okay, thank you.
no problem. All right, let's go with Miriam.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm in Oregon, so it's 1 p.m. over here.
Okay.
Hi. So I have kind of two questions. They kind of link together, I think. So one is when I log into WeFunder, it says like, it says pending. It says like, fundraise launch, commitment received, and I'm in the payment received, but it still says pending. Is that what it's supposed to say?
Well, pending just means that the money's in process. Did you do a wire transfer?
I did. I
There you
paid
go.
through online. Yeah. That was
Yeah,
in
wire.
August 8th, though.
No, trust me, it's terrible. It's literally the worst thing in the world. I don't know what it is about wire transfers,
Uh-huh.
but they take 1 billion years for WeFunder. Trust me, there's nothing wrong. It just
Mm-hmm.
takes 1,000 years. I'll never understand why it does that, but wire transfers are notoriously bad on WeFunder when it comes to time to be processed.
Okay.
Uh,
Because I think
ACH,
I paid with my credit card, though. I think I paid with my credit card. So I don't know if that's a wire transfer.
well, it should definitely go through if it's a credit card.
Yeah.
It should go through in 1
Because,
to 2 days. I would email
yeah.
them. I would email them and just make sure. Now, since it was August 8th, I'm trying to think, was the
Hmm.
campaign live at August 8th or was it in reservation at that time? Hmm. Was it in reservation or was it live at that time?
I think it was, oh, I don't know. I'm so new to this whole investment language. So
Well,
to be
well,
honest with you, I don't know. I
what
wanted
I
to
would
support the
do,
cause. So that's why
yeah,
I'm like, I'm jumping in.
what I would do is I would go to the investment round, right? Just go to
Hmm.
wefunder.com/Black Sands Anime and hit the
Hmm.
invest button and see what it says.
Okay.
Because it might say, hey, you ready to confirm your investment? And you might have never confirmed it.
Oh, okay.
You
And
know, like,
that's why like I'm so new to all of this and I want to make sure everything is working and because I know someone also mentioned about the card that you'll be getting like the member like the black card,
yeah.
one of the color. And so that's why I was also wondering about that's my second question is like, okay, when do you get that? Because I haven't got any information regarding my investment or this. That's why I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, so when it comes to the cards, that's going to be
Mhm.
a month after I get my the confirmations, right? So once all the
Okay.
investments are confirmed and stuff, that's when the cards will be available. Now, I'm
Okay.
looking at the investment round right now. I see $508,000 already, which means that has money gone through. and $495,000 are pending. That means the money is on the way. So you're not alone. All right.
Okay.
Literally half of the investors have the pending sign on their investment. So
Okay.
there's probably like some checks and balances they have to do to make sure people aren't money laundering or scamming. You know what I'm saying? Like, investments can be, a little crazy. But
Yes.
can I get the name you would have used for the investment just so I can look at what?
Yeah. It's my name, Miriam Cummins.
All right, let me spell
Yeah.
it real quick. Miriam.
Yeah, because I just want to make sure if I do need to confirm that where do I go for that? Because I don't want to lose it or have my stuff canceled or anything like that. So that's why I'm like, okay, what do I need to do on my end to make
It doesn't
sure?
say anything about reservation here, so you're good on that. Let me see, make sure. I'm gonna get these filters out of there. Reservation, no contract signed. Okay, so that's not there. But let's take this one out. All right, yeah, you're good to go.
I
So
am? Okay.
yeah, I would just email them and say, hey, why is it taking so long to process?
Okay. So just WeFunder then. Okay. Because I was like, again, like, I'm like, okay, I'm in it. Like, I want this going, guys. So, and I saw pending. I'm like, oh my God, did not work. Did I
Oh, no
mess something
problem.
up? All right. Well, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate everything that you are doing. And I'm very excited and ready to promote it. I go to Comic-Con, so I'm like really excited to go and promote this. So thank you.
Awesome. All right, David Boone, what's good?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello? Is it me? It
Yeah,
might
it
be
might be
me.
lagging a bit, brother. Where you
It,
at?
it, I'm I'm out in the country a little bit.
Okay.
Uh, so I heard earlier about this big fight you want to pick. Can you
Yeah.
explain that to me? Maybe you was just joking.
Nah, I ain't a joke. We're gonna pick the
Oh,
fight.
so so explain that to me. Why are we picking the fight?
Oh, why?
Yes.
Because we just want to like we're being bullies right now. The idea is this, right? Sometimes you have to punch up. You have to punch up to the big dog, right? And if you're doing a product that's very comparable to them, being able to have that fight is always a good thing. Because at the end of the day, you can't lose. What media coverage could we possibly lose on, right? If we're doing that, right? It's not like we have a big brand that's comparable to them, so we can actually get messed up by fighting them, right? If let's say they have a news segment about Lord of the Rings and they're saying, hey, why is this Black Sands company always in the conversation talking about how they're better than Lord of the Rings? Isn't that weird? That conversation only benefits us. That doesn't benefit them, right? Anytime this conversation pops up, will be a massive benefit to our publicity, right? And so long as we actually deliver a product that's good, right? Not great, not super amazing, but just good enough where we could be in the conversation, then the whole community's like stance was warranted. It was merited. And imagine what they could do with a Lord of the Rings budget. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we ain't gonna have their budget. They're gonna beat us by like $40 million on budget, probably. So imagine what we could do. So that's why we're having that fight. It's great for marketing because we don't have the money that they have for marketing. They're just gonna go and get their partners. They're gonna be like, yo, Time Warner or whoever the heck has the rights. Hey, go and put $100 million into advertising for us for free, right? Because they own the rights. We're not going to be doing all that. We're going to be having to have this organically, and we're going to have to pay for our audience. So for influencers and stuff like that. So we're not going to have the amount of like money or infrastructure to promote it like everybody else. So we got to pick our fights. Lord of the Rings is a great fight to have. It just is. Same kind of product, same destination, right? And it came out early enough so we can get all the metrics and all the numbers. And then we can go and say, we're going to do better than them. Have a clear goal for our audience, for our fans, right? Say, hey, we want to do this much at the box office, period, right? We have a clear objective, right? And we go from there. So that's why we're doing it. We're going to have that fight. And we always fight. I mean, if you know Black Sands been throwing blows at Hollywood for about about 5 years now, nonstop. So did that answer your question, boss? Oh, he muted himself. Wait a second, I lost him. Well, yeah, I hope that did answer your question though, for real. Let's see. I'll go back to Jeffers. Jeffers. Let's go get Jeffers back in here. You good now?
One more person. I'm in like a drive-through line. That's why.
Okay. All
Sorry.
right.
Thank you. One more person.
Darlene, how are you doing?
Good morning. I'm in Hawaii, so it's still early in the morning here.
Hawaii. Okay.
Yes. So my question is if you invested during the early bird terms, and like you stated earlier about if people could afford to increase their investment, they could do it. What is the difference between the two different contracts that you will get?
A 10% swing. So in other words, the investment would be uh basically let's say you put $10,000 early bird and $10,000 regular bird,
Mhm.
right? The $10,000, let's say we just broke even. You would get $10,000 back, right? If you were regular. If you were early bird, you'd get $11,000 back.
Okay.
So you get a premium of about 10% compared to everybody else. So that's how it works. So it's probably a lot more intricate than that, but that's basically how it
Mhm.
works, 10% swing.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
That's
not
the
much
only question
not
I
much
have.
difference though. And the follow-up question to that is yes, if you do add money to your account, it won't knock you out of early bird. It just
Mhm.
makes that new money the 30% rate instead of the 33% rate. So you'll have two contracts.
Okay, got it.
So is
Thank you.
that the only question you got? If you got more, go ahead and shoot them.
Nope, that's it for now.
All right. See you
Thank
later.
you.
Jabari, what's good?
What's good, Manny? How you doing, sir?
What's up?
Another day, man. I did want to ask, what what is your email or what is the way of going about ordering the cards again for early
Uh,
bird investors?
let's see here. I'm gonna put my email address in the chat
Yes, sir.
for customer service. That's me, but don't worry about it. Customer service. So that one you can just email there and just say, hey, I invested at this time, I did this much, right? I'd like to order the investment card. No investment cards are going out for this anime round yet. All right. So we're only talking about Black Sands Entertainment cards. All right.
Word.
Not the new ones.
Word. Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, I just put that in the chat. Oh, my bad. I put it in the wait and I hate how the chat works for me. I always get DMs and I don't want to do DMs. I just want to send it to everybody. Meeting group chat. There we go. Boom. All right, everybody sees that, right? Please let me know in the comment section if you see my email, because it always goes privately. It's weird. Okay, cool. Let's get the next person. And, and I don't know who this is, but iPhone.
Hello,
Hello.
how you doing?
Hey, what's up? What's your name, boss?
The name's Jack.
Jack. Okay, what's going on, Jack?
Hi, I'm just what's it called? I want to know about what happened to what's going on with the Black Sands app.
Oh, the app? Yeah,
Yeah,
the app's been down since the beginning of 2023. So we shut it down a while ago, and it was just costing too much money. Wasn't bringing any money in,
I've
right?
noticed that I'm still making money on it though.
I don't know how.
Yeah, it says that I have 10 unrealized gains.
Oh, I don't know what that might mean when it comes to WeFunder, but WeFunder, as far as the people who invested in Black Sands, the anime,
Yeah.
not Black Sands the anime, Black Sands the app, right? Those people got transferred over to Black Sands Entertainment as investors for Black Sands Entertainment. So they have stock in Black Sands Entertainment now. So I don't know what it's showing for BSP comic investors.
Okay.
Right?
I would like to thank you for that. That's good. Like I'm actually making money off that. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. It's definitely a lifeline because no most of the companies just let you like go
Yeah,
off.
fall. Yeah, you're actually a really good man for that. Thank you so much.
All right, bro.
All right, take care.
Yep. Tolu. Let's talk Tolu. Tolu.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh yeah, just wanted to confirm those numbers for break even and doubling the investment. I think Mr. Reed said 16 million was the break even, so that would that make 32 million the doubling?
Not necessarily. There's a lot of fixed costs,
Okay.
right? So things change a lot once fixed cost is out of the way, right? Because obviously fixed cost is only paid once. So I think that's what happens is I don't know, is Carl Reed still here? Let me see. Is he still here? Maybe not. He was sick earlier, so I'm glad he came on, but he was sick. So okay, he's not here. But the reality is this, right? So when I make a comic book, right? When I make a comic book, it costs me about $7,200 or something for Black Sands, right? Make an issue of Black Sands costs about $7,200. I would have to make roughly $10,000 without advertising, right? In order to break even on that book, right? Because I have to do the print costs and everything else. So yeah, about $10,000 would be my break even point. But in order to let's say, uh, get into profitability and stuff like that, if I had an investor or whatever, right? They would not be doing $10,000 to get the next one. It'd probably be the production cost, right? Which is $7,200. Right.
Right.
So that would be like doubling it. And so 17,000 would be doubling it instead of 20,000. And
All right.
that's for extreme examples like the comics, right? Like it's probably a lot smaller, like if like growth needed to double the money for like the film, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it was just curious. That makes sense. That makes sense. Once you get past your fixed costs, anything above that is profit. So that means it takes less profit. It takes less revenue to hit that mark.
yes. Once you get past your fixed cost, the numbers get a lot lower, right? You don't need another 16 million to get double, right?
Got you. I got you. I got it. Thanks. I appreciate that.
As a matter of fact, now that I think about it, it's not even that. It's not even like that kind of factor. It starts just becoming percentage based. You understand? So if the entire investor pool is 2.3, 2.25 million or whatever, right? That's the entire investor pool. And we're broken even. Boom, we're even. We're done. No more debt, no more nothing. We're in the profit stage. Let's say there's $20 million left over, right? That $20 million that's being distributed will be distributed to the producers. And that means everybody that's on the producer side. That includes super actors, super directors, or whoever the hell else has a big name and they're putting a lot of effort into the production. These are the people who are on the producer side, and then you have the investor side. So you're going to get 30% or 33%, right? Somewhere in the average in the middle of that, right? Somewhere between 30 and 33% of the $20 million. So
Right.
that would be roughly
6 million.
yeah, 6 million or something like that. Now that's distributed to the investors who had an investment pool of 2.25 million. So that's close to 3 times, right? The total output of the investors, right? So now you're looking at getting, 3 times what you made, you know what I mean? At least.
Yeah.
Uh, so you
mean,
understand what I'm saying? And that's
yeah.
not a big number. Like 20 million is almost the same amount of money as the 16 billion that it costs to break even. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Got it. Appreciate that.
all right, bro. By the way, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a right. I'm not a lawyer or whatever the hell it is. So none of my advice is legal advice. All right. I'm gonna put that disclaimer out there. Somebody try, record me one day and say, you said that this is how much. I have no freaking clue.
No, and I get it. No, no, we get.
No, not you. I'm just
Yeah,
talking about
yeah.
I'm just talking about in general, right? So putting that disclaimer out there so everybody who's recording this could have that little clip saying, it ain't, I'm not a damn financial expert. Yeah, that's what it is, the financial expert stuff, right? So I'm just putting that out there, guys. As I said, man, we're gonna do as best we can. But all I want to do is get y'all a check, man. A check for double your money and I'll be happy. You know what I mean? Let's see. Next one we're going to, I think Jeffers is ready. Right, Jeffers?
Yes,
All
yes, I
right. What's
am.
going on?
Thank you, everybody. Um, so my question is, I've done investor rounds with different.
Wait 1 second. Right now you're getting super laggy.
Oh
All right,
no.
try again.
Okay.
Try again.
All right. So different investors, different companies doing investments, taking like public investments for film. They involved investors in like the marketing decisions, like which poster should we do, and
Okay.
we all voted and stuff like that. Will we be involved in a similar way with Black Sands?
Sure, why not? It's fun. I have a patron community. So are you part of the patron community?
No, I'm not, but I would love to
Well,
enjoy.
all I'm saying is, our patron community is pretty active in what we do and how we do it.
Okay.
So We Funder sucks when it comes to getting news to people. Right? I do an update. Maybe 50 out of the 1,000 investors that I have, maybe 50 will actually see the email. So I always advise people to get on our either email list or our patron community. Right? Patron,
Okay.
we have competitions, we have all this stuff. We constantly share things behind the scenes, right? And we're gonna be a very behind the scenes production. So don't think that we're
Okay.
keeping any secrets or anything like that. I think it's great to have votes on little details and stuff like that that could be made into the show. So, I think that's gonna be good.
Oh yeah, and thank you. That would be great because I won't be able to be there at the premiere party as much as I would love to. But that will be a fun way to be a part of the process. And I like to collect things and have collectors capsules. So the more I can tangibly have from this experience would be awesome.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have something there, and I'll probably do like a mini series of comics, just like I did with the first Arrow, based on the Magi and stuff like that. Just because give more context to the people in the story for
Yeah.
the movie. So yeah, we're gonna have that as well, right? So we're gonna have some cool behind the scenes stuff, and even entire comic lines that are based off of it. So there'll be stuff to collect for sure.
Yes. Well, thank you.
No
Thanks,
problem.
everybody. Have a good one.
You too. Let's see here. Dark Stranger. Who is Dark Stranger?
That's me. Sorry, it's other link things that I do. I forgot to change that, but my name is Mario.
All right, Mario, what's up, man?
Yeah, just first, I'm proud to be a part of the Patreon community and an investor. Way back when you were like in YouTube showing us how to write from Save the Cat. So I've been riding with you for a while now. But my question is, I don't know if you said it or not, but will there be like a preview or what's it called? Something for us to help fight in the whole process when it comes out. Like, will there be like trailers? There we go. God, trailers.
Well, one thing is this, right? We didn't make our money yet. We didn't make our 2.25 million, right? So we're still campaigning. Since we're still campaigning, we are going to get you guys content, news, whatever, so you can go and bully your friends and family to invest. Right. So we're gonna go out there. We're gonna give you all the weapons you need to go to war. That's for sure. As far as trailers and stuff, we might not have full on trailers, but we will have animation tests that will be done very soon, like very, very soon. So you're probably looking at within the next I don't know, 2 weeks. We're gonna have some animation tests to see what style we're going with animation wise. This is very important because we have to get this down early so we can go and hire the right teams, right? Because we got like a lot of animators, and we just gotta make sure we have the right style guides for how we're gonna do it. So that's gonna be coming out pretty soon. We'll let you guys make your help us find a decision, right, on which style you prefer. That's probably going to be through social media. I get a lot of engagement on Instagram when I do stuff like this. So I'm going to be using those polling systems to go and get really good information from our fan base. And I think at the end of the day, you guys are going to see very quickly, right, what the heck we're doing, what style we're using, who's the cast, who's the director, who's the producer, all that stuff, who's the sound, who's the person doing the entire, sound of the entire production, right? What Grammy award winning, people are going to be working on this, and you guys are going to have all the tools you need to fight. All right. It is a fight. It is a fight. I can't raise 2.25 million by myself. I wish I could. My tools get stripped from me every day by Google and Apple because they're in a freaking proxy war to try and control all data. So they keep stripping data from everybody else. But we're gonna keep fighting, and we just got to do it more on the, micro level, right? Individuals, gathering more individuals. And I think that's how it's gonna work.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Anything else?
Yeah, did one other thing, or just kind of off of what the last
Can you
lady
speak
said.
up a bit? I can't hear you.
Sorry, is that better?
I think the mic just went down a bit. That's what.
Okay. So what I was going to also ask was, with the Patreon members, if we can't make it to the premiere, we'd be thinking about maybe a private virtual party as well.
I think I don't know, man, because at the end of the day, like we are like we do like this stuff all the time. So it's not like we're not having these big meetings and stuff like that. I just think it's completely different when it's like actually at an event. You know what I mean? So we could do it, but I don't think it'll be much different than a Zoom. You know what I mean? I don't think it'll be much different from that. So I don't know what prestige of it. But as far as like the event, it's best to come out to it if you can, right? It's gonna be the first of its kind. It's gonna be fun. You know what I mean? So yeah. All right, bro. I'll let you. Hey, by the way, if you have any more questions, guys, remember, put your hand up and I'll pull you up. Let's go with Deborah.
Hello, hi everyone, hi family members of Black Sands. My question was, when we do the premiere, and I might have missed it in our previous Zoom meeting, sometimes I do zone out.
Uh-huh.
Is it going to be a global premiere, or are we just going to do the United States first? Have we got a spot picked in
No clue.
England and in Canada, or some of our other locations where we have a decent pool of investors as well?
Well, I know I get investors from England, so I do know that. I do know that I have a lot of UK investors. Not as many as I would like, but I do have a good sizable. Same thing in the Netherlands. I got a lot of investors in the Netherlands. I have a huge fan base in the Netherlands. I wish I had investors in Canada. I can't get you because Canada itself doesn't allow WeFunder or any equity crowdfunding to exist. So Canada just doesn't like it. So they kind of box that out. But as far as the movie is concerned, global box office will usually depend on MIPCOM. All right, so MIPCOM's in mid-October, right? And we're gearing up hard to get as much pre-sales as possible at MIPCOM. You're basically selling the right for other people in other countries to show your movie, right? And you might be able to sell foreign dub rights as well, right? So it's like, hey, they want to do a dub in, Portuguese or whatever. So that's something that's very important. We'll see how that works. Me personally, if I had to pick, right, the two languages that I would want to distribute immediately on is English and Portuguese. I want English and Portuguese mostly because I want Brazil. I want a basically an opening weekend that's in the US, Canada, UK, and Brazil. Those four countries are the ones that I'm most concerned with when it comes to the box office.
Okay. All right. Will do. I guess I'll stand by, stand fast, and see how everything else plays out on that. All right. Thank you kindly.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it.
And let's see, Juanita.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, what's up?
I heard you speak about the pending. Um, I'm still pending and my daughters, and I invested before August, and it was, a debit card. It went out the very next day. So, if you could repeat who I need to contact and what I need to tell them or what I need to do.
All right, you're not pending, so I don't know what you're talking about. I see green on yours, Juanita Green Burton.
So it says it when I go on, when I look under WeFund, it
Yeah,
says,
they're trolling you. I'll show you right now. So let me just show you real quick.
okay.
Right, I'll show you real quick because if it's
I
on
don't know
my side,
why
then
it
I'll be
says
good.
it under mine because
If
I
it's
shouldn't be.
if it's on my side, you
I'm
said
good.
it's real. If it's on their side, if it's on your side, sometimes it's just emails with old data, right? They'll pull data from a week ago or something like that. So here you go. So as you can see right here, we have two of you, right? So
Yes.
so both of y'all are green. Green means is ready. The funds are in the escrow. You understand? So
And Nico Greenberg and Winnie Girl. Yes, those two, me and my daughters. Yes.
yep. So there you go.
Okay.
You're good.
So under us both, we say Penny. Is should we see a contract? Have you started doing contracts? Did we miss
No,
that?
nobody gets contracts
Okay.
until WeFunder locks the contract. So they're gonna lock the contracts when I pull the money out. And when that happens, you're basically the people who are green, right? The people who are green are gonna have like a countdown. It's gonna say like, hey, just let you know in 3 days, we are going to lock your investment in, which means you cannot cancel it. Because right now, everybody can cancel their investment, right?
Mhm.
Absolutely everybody can
Mhm.
change it, cancel it, increase it, whatever. After that point, it's going to say you can't cancel whatever's in there right now. So will you like to cancel before we lock it, or you going to let us lock it, right? And then you got 3 days to make a decision. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to change anything, but if you want to cancel, you can cancel at that time, right? And then they're gonna lock all the counts, right? And once that happens, they're gonna make you sign your contracts and say, hey, here's your signature, here's their signature required, boom, boom, boom. And then they're gonna send it to me, and they're gonna say, and here you go, Manuel Godoy, you have to go and sign all these contracts, right? And I'll be like, okay, cool. And then I go and countersign, 1,000 contracts or something like that. And then that's it. You got paperwork. You're
So
done.
that wouldn't prevent us from seeing that. It'll be email sent to me or whatever. Me
Yeah,
seeing pending on my end would not prevent me from
yeah,
getting that next.
it wouldn't change that at all. And more importantly, you have to go to your portfolio. So I'm gonna show you something that it's on mine. I
Okay.
don't think I have anything in my portfolio for this account. But if you had a portfolio because you invested in stuff,
I
right? You
do.
just go to the top, you go, hey, I want to go to my
Yeah.
portfolio. And when you go to your portfolio, it'll tell you all the pending contracts or all the investments that you have that are pending or whatever. And if a contract has been signed, both parties, it'll be there for download, right? It'll always be there. You know what I'm saying? And this is really cool for like the estimated value and stuff like that. Some people have really big accounts, right? So some people's some people's numbers are freaking huge. So when it comes to investing in Black Sands, like if they were a 2020 investor, these
Yes.
numbers are crazy sometimes. So yeah, just look over there in your portfolio and you should see something there.
Okay.
pending or whatever. All right.
Yes, thank you so much.
No problem. Let's see here. All right, so I don't think I see any more questions. So I'm just gonna summarize the too long didn't read version of the meeting that we had. All right, so return on investment is very important for us. We're planning on getting a return on investment for you guys. The break even point, according to Carl Reed right now, is $16 million. That's to cover all cost, all cost. However, on top of this return on investment point, this point of no return, in which we finally get break even and we can start making money. After that, it's a multiple, all right? So it's not a fixed number anymore. The 16 million is a fixed number because it's so much upfront cost when it comes to distributing movies. But after that, it's 30 to 33% in perpetuity. So if we make 100 million at the box office, you don't get 5 times $16 million, right? So that's not how it works. You get 30% as a whole, as a collective, of the $70 million that or the $80 million that's over what we needed for the breakdown. And that number was like 30 million. So 30 million divided by 2.25 million, you're looking at a return of like, 15x, something like that. So just be aware of that. When we run the numbers up, we're gonna have massive returns. All right. Because we're not doing math based off of anything more than percentage at that point. The percentage of sales. You understand? So just be aware of that. Be aware of that. It's very important when it comes to the math. We're fighting Lord of the Rings. They're going to the box office, and their box office performance will massively, massively benefit us when it comes to getting screens. All right. The name of the game when it comes to box office success is how many screens do you have? All right. And they can't just change this overnight. When they say you're going to have 2,000 screens for your movie, they actually put a marketing budget in there to promote you to fill the theaters of 2,000 screens. So if they don't have people in those seats, they lose a lot of money. So the distributor wants to have those seats full. So they're going to spend a lot of money to get those screens filled, right? So that's why you don't see movies that have like a limited release end up having a wide release. You never see that, right? Oh man, Demon Slayer did amazing, and it still only had like 300 theaters in the U.S., right? Because it was too late. It was too late. They weren't going to be able to be like, let's give them 1,000 screens. It was too late, right? You can't change it now. You ain't got time to build up the marketing. So we got to get a big amount of screens. Lord of the Rings coming out literally close to 5 to 6 months prior to Black Sands means we have a comp that came out recently that did hundreds of millions of dollars at the box office, which means that we will be able to say, and we could do something similar to that, right? And now they'll give us more screens. Big thing. Lord of the Rings is a blessing in disguise, and we are going to compete with them as much as possible for sales in the US. So I'm happy about that. I'm super excited about that. It's one of the best things that could have ever happened because there is no Western animes. We would have been like the first, but now we're the second, and that's good. The first is always the first to get shot. Okay, all right. So the fact that we're second is actually a really, really, really good thing. All right, and as I said, for all the people who are looking to invest more but can't because of their cap, remember, put household income. Don't just put yourself, right? If you and your wife or you and your husband work, right? Household income, because that's how most people never invest individually. That's weird, right? We go, hey, babe, what do you want me to do? Hey, let's put like 5,000 in there. He's like, oh, it says I only can put 2,500. And he's like, oh, it's because you only put in your income. If you put in the household income of 100K or 120K, they'd have said, oh yeah, you can invest like 8,000, right? But because that's how the system works, the government. So just remember that. Put your income in based off of your household income, and your limits will change. All right. Because it's all about the fight, individual fights. We have 1,100 investors. Hopefully, by the end of the week, right, we'll have 1,200 investors, right? That's like 80 more. Can we get 80 more? I think so. I think we could do it, right? But we just got to talk to people. We got to convince them. You know what I mean? This is our time. This is our movie. And we are going to get the profits. So that's kind of the mission. That's the objective. I hope I answered everybody's question today. I hope everybody is excited for what's about to come because Update's gonna come quick. Update's gonna come very quick over the next 2 months because we're battling for MIPCOM. We want to go to MIPCOM and secure international sales all over the world. And that means that we have to have a lot done by then. So cheer us on, be a part of the process, a lot of polling, a lot of questions, a lot of decisions made by the fans. Be a part of that, all right? I don't need you just for your money. I need your opinion because unlike Hollywood, I don't give a shit about what Hollywood think tanks and the back rooms tell me about what the market says. The hell with the market. All I care about is whether black people will buy tickets or not. That's all I give a damn about. So if the market is like, well, we got to make Asar more relatable. Nope. We ain't gonna make Asar more relatable. You're gonna respect Asar. I didn't tell you had to like him. I never said anything about liking Asar. I said you will respect him because he's the prince. That's it. You're gonna respect him, and they're gonna tear that down. Watch, there's gonna be a lot of people making videos about Black Sands when it comes out, talking about, well, it's why the character's so masculine. They need to cry more, and I'm gonna be like, well, you write a story where they cry more. It ain't gonna be Black Sands. Asar, the only time Asar cries is when like his arm is broken. That sucks. Anybody gonna cry in that situation, but it's gonna be a very short tear followed by, okay, we fighting now. Okay, we fighting now. So just be prepared for it. Black Sands is not a PR story. A lot of movies get changed in the script and everything else because we don't want to mess up the sensibilities of certain. We don't want to turn off certain audiences. We want to include everybody. Black Sands is not that. Black Sands is a legendary story. And, we're going to face it. We're going to face a lot of criticism for it, but we're not going to change. Because guess what? I'm not accountable to them. They ain't paying me nothing. The only people that paid me are the people who came here. And these people have kids. These people have classrooms. These people have freaking law degrees and stuff like that. They're pretty responsible Black people. And they still don't want none of that nonsense in it. Right? It's like that. He said, so I'm gonna listen to my base. The hell with y'all. Y'all can argue with me all you want. When I see grandparents with 16 generations of kids under them, 8 grandkids, and all the grandkids and they kids who are freaking 40 years old, and them are all going to the movie theaters together, I can say 100% that I did the right damn thing. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying, man. This is a moral fight. Black Sands is a moral fight, but it's also a dope story as well. So you can do both, right? You can have amazing stories, you can have amazing historical references, and you can also not pander. It's like you can do all these things at the same time. So thank you guys so much for being here. Up your pledges if you can. All right. If you can't, that's cool. You already did the job. I just saw it. 99% of the people polled said they already invested. So I'm not talking to anybody who's new here. I'm talking to the base, right? So you guys have done enough. I don't want to seem like a beggar, right? So if you're good, you're good. Nothing we can do about that. But let's keep galvanizing. Let's keep attacking. Let's keep telling the troops that it's real. It's not fake. This ain't the Black Wall Street of comics, right? This is the real deal thing that's gonna happen, right? And the updates will reveal themselves and show you that there's no way in hell this is not going to happen, right? We got Deborah Wilson, we got Eddie Griffin. When's the last time you seen Eddie Griffin attached to anything? Think about it. Like, you seen him in movies, right? Movies that's come out. Have you ever heard of Eddie Griffin being attached to something that didn't happen? Because I've seen a lot of celebrities that do sign up for stuff and say, oh yeah, we're doing this, and it never happens. I have never seen that with Eddie Griffin. I've never seen that once. He either does stuff or it doesn't. Right? So people don't like putting their names on things that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? And I got strong people who have product. Eddie Griffin has product. Deborah Wilson has literally like 50 products in the last like 3 years. Like, she's probably the hardest working Black voice actress in America. Ridiculous how much stuff she's in. She was in like 40 video games in the last 3 years alone. You know what I mean? Not including regular shows and animation and everything else. She works her ass off, right? And people don't like attaching their names to things that are ideas. They attach their names to things that are going to freaking happen. You know what I mean? So that's what's up. Holla at you guys later. Thank you guys so much for attending this meeting. And let's get to work, man. We keep doing the work. Peace.